Tired of feeling tired? Done with diet culture? Overwhelmed by conflicting nutrition and fitness messages? Then join us, your hosts of the Nutrition Revolution podcast, as we take a deep dive into all things women's fitness and nutrition. I'm Kimberly.
And I'm Tabitha. And together we are debunking diet culture myths and giving you the tools you need to finally see the results you're looking for. It's time to revolutionize your nutrition and training.
Welcome back to another episode. Today we are going to be talking about hydration. There's so many options for hydrating our bodies. And, I think when people think of hydration, they immediately think like, oh yeah, I drink water every day. Or I don't drink any water ever. Isn't there water in coffee? And so I think it's important to talk about hydration. I think a lot of people are running around dehydrated and they don't even realize it. And they don't realize the effects that hydration can have on their body and like what dehydration can actually do to you besides just like feeling blah, the headaches, the fatigue, sleep. It disrupts a lot of things. And so hydration is incredibly important. And
I think it's something people get confused with too, that are like, no, I drink a lot of water. If you are also active and you're intentionally exercising and you're sweating and you just are replenishing with water, that actually can make you make that dehydration more severe. And it's like, wait a second, what? Water is supposed to hydrate you. And it's like, yes, but then there's also sodium and your blood sodium levels and how that is a key component of what we call euhydration, which is where you are in a balanced state of being hydrated.
I didn't realize all of this until my husband started doing his like intense Ironman training, like 17 hours of like training, and the sweat that he lost. And then he was getting super fatigued, and they were like, oh, replace with some salt. And I was like, well, okay. So we tried it, and he was like, I feel amazing, so much better. And then, when it was really long workouts, then he would have the salt plus carb, like plus sugar. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much more to hydration that I had no idea. It really is like a science for your body that you've got to figure out. And
that was one of my favorite, modules in one of the sports nutrition courses that I took when working on my master's, was all about hydration and hyponatremia and hypernatremia, which is high or low blood sodium levels, and electrolyte balance and imbalance, and how actually this is extreme, you can die from electrolyte imbalances. And how endurance athletes, there have been instances of endurance athletes dying and needing to be hospitalized because they're just replenishing with water and they're becoming hyponatremic, which is low blood sodium. And that is a very serious condition. And you're like, okay, well, I'm not a marathon runner, right? But it can happen to even just your normal recreational athlete that is just working out several times a week, but they have a high sweat rate. And then on top of that, then they're also going and doing sauna time. And then they're not replenishing with the appropriate mix of electrolytes to actually rehydrate you. Okay, so let's start with some of the signs that you may be dehydrated if you're curious. So the color of your urine is really the gold standard of self-check. Yeah. So if your urine does not look like pale lemonade, I say like Chick-fil-A lemonade. Yeah. That's kind of like ideal. You want your urine to look like that. If your urine is darker, the darker it gets and the stronger smell it has, the more dehydrated you are. And that's like the first sign, like, okay, you need to be taking in way more fluids. Regular headaches, especially like later in the day. Or if you're waking up with one regularly,
waking up with one is
from overnight, because you'll dehydrate. We all, while we're sleeping, because every time we exhale, we release respiratory droplets, which is just your body water. Right. So the dehydration process starts every night, right? And then your waking hours are when the process of rehydrating begins. So headaches, fatigue, just feeling like tired, muscle cramps, if your toes are cramping, if you're getting Charlie horses a lot, especially at night, big sign. If you are active or you are like an athlete in the traditional sense and you can't make it through a game or a training session without cramping,
You need water.
Yeah, dehydrated.
Yeah.
Or, well, not even necessarily water. You probably
Right.
need sodium. You
Yeah.
need some electrolytes. Dizziness and nausea, poor performance and slow reaction time are also all indications and signs that you could be dehydrated. So I always tell people, look at your urine. Every time you go pee,
Yeah.
take a second, check out the color.
Yeah. My kids,
see.
I always get on my kids about it, even when they were little. And I remember one time my mom was like, "Oh, your kids make me feel really bad about the amount of water that I drink." Because one of them, I don't remember who it was, I guess saw like there was urine in the toilet when they went to go. And they were like, somebody in this house is dehydrated.
That's hilarious.
I mean,
Looking like orange juice.
yeah,
in
she's
that
like, I never
toilet.
made you guys drink water growing up. And I was like, yeah, we didn't drink water when we were growing
Yeah,
up.
but
Like
we should have been.
We should have been. And now all our kids are like running around with their like
Water bottles.
Stanleys and Yetis.
Yes,
Like I need
yes,
to drink.
I love it. Emotional support water bottle
Yes,
that comes with me
exactly.
everywhere. That is like one of the first habits to work on cultivating to avoid dehydration is making sure that you always have access to fluids.
But on that, don't just walk around with your cute water bottle. Drink from your cute water bottle. Because I see people walking around with it all the time.
Drink from
and they
it.
never
Yeah, that's
fill
true.
it up.
I have water with me all the
Actually
time, but if you don't drink it,
yeah.
that's so funny.
Yes,
yeah,
please
good
drink
point.
it.
Good point. One of my habits, I keep my Yeti. I'm a Yeti girl.
Same.
Yeah, keep my Yeti. In fact, there are 3 Yetis between the two
right
of us sitting.
Yeah, we have matching Yeti.
Sitting on podcast recording day. I keep my Yeti filled up every night. It's on my nightstand.
Yep.
First thing I do in the morning is I just kind of chug water.
Yeah.
It wakes you up.
Yeah.
Starts the rehydration process.
Yeah.
Gets the juices flowing in your
Right.
brain and everywhere. Helps just set the stage
Also for the
a better day.
ladies, your skin is going to look fabulous.
Yes. Yes.
I love when I go get a facial and they're like, your skin's so hydrated. And I'm like, oh, it's because
I'm
I drink a lot of
hydrated.
water.
Because I'm hydrated. Yeah, so that's what I do first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Like before my feet even hit the ground, I'm drinking, taking some big gulps
Yep.
to restart.
Same.
And then I'm a big electrolyte user. I have I tend to be, based on some recent blood work, a little struggle with some low blood sodium in general. So my primary care physician and I worked out that like I need to daily be taking an electrolyte drink. And as I started doing that, probably about a year ago, I've actually noticed, wow, this is a game changer for my like every day.
Yeah.
Because I would do an electrolyte drink after like an intense sweat session, but that would kind of be it.
I think that that's what a lot of people think electrolytes are only for people who work out. But
Yeah.
actually, all those minerals and things in the electrolytes are incredibly helpful for you, especially as you're aging. So I do electrolytes daily also.
Yeah.
And usually, like I'm the same. I keep my drink on my bedside table and I will drink whatever's left of that. And then every morning I'll start the day with like lemon water and sea salt or an electrolyte, depending on, what I have or what I'm wanting in that moment. If I know I'm going to work out in the morning, I use my electrolyte powder and drink that. But
Yeah, I
every
do
day.
a lot of the electrolyte powders. Like right now, I've actually got instant hydration. It's their mango pineapple. And
sounds
it's 500 milligrams of French gray sea salt. It's got
so
potassium and magnesium. They use monk fruit and there's no artificial colors
Yeah.
or sweeteners. And I love it and it's great. And it makes like a world of difference. The big thing that I noticed when I started doing a daily electrolyte drink was that my 2:30, 3 o'clock headache, tiredness almost completely went away. As long as I am also have eaten enough. Because
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
something I'm
it's everything
sensitive.
comes together, yeah.
Absolutely, everything comes together. But I have noticed a huge difference in my energy levels throughout the day. I don't wake up with muscle cramps.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the last
I
time.
think that since I've been doing the electrolytes, my muscle fatigue and like soreness post workouts is almost
Absolutely.
gone. Like I don't really, and I'm doing hard, like our programming right now is like an hour and a half bodybuilding kind of stuff. Like
Yeah,
I
so
should
you
be
need the
incredibly
electrolytes.
sore. Like I feel like I worked out, but it's not like it used to be or would have been in the past. Like it's pretty minimal.
Yeah.
And that's the electrolytes.
Yeah, I mean, your blood sodium levels are really, really tightly controlled by your central nervous system, down to like less than 1% control, or greater than 99%, I guess would be a more accurate way to say that. So sodium is in your cells, so intercellular, and then intra, around your cells, and that fluid intake that passes around your cells and then in and out of your cells is tightly regulated by your central nervous system. There's the sodium potassium pumps that keep them balanced. And so when you are low in potassium and or sodium, you are going to have an imbalance in your hydration status. And then as a result, you're going to feel fatigued. You're going to have headaches. You're just not going to have the mental clarity, the reaction time. I don't even mean just like out on the field for performance. I mean, driving your car,
Right.
you know, thinking through things, making decisions in your everyday life. Like, it is so much more than just, am I peeing regularly?
Yeah.
Or what color is that urine? Even though I said that's the basics, like start there.
Yeah.
That's just,
That's just a good test to know if you're dehydrated.
it's a good real time.
Like if your urine is like really dark, go drink some
it's a good
water.
real time measuring stick for like, where am I with my hydration? Does it look like I just, you know, peed out some Tropicana orange juice?
If you do that,
We got a
good luck.
problem.
Yeah.
You need electrolyte. You probably need an IV.
Yeah.
Not a liquid IV.
And also,
IV.
that's a good one to like teach your kids to, especially
Yes.
if you have athletes who are doing sports, especially in the
Yep.
summer, and they're, you know, we had to talk to the kids. I talked to my kids' swim team about this too, because they're like, well, we're in the water all the time.
Yeah,
Like
swimmers
hydrated.
get toe cramps all the
Swimmers,
time.
Yeah.
Because they're not drinking, because they're in the water and
Yeah.
they don't feel that sweat,
Yep.
but they are still actually sweating. Your body's still
Right.
producing heat.
Yeah.
Because I was a swimmer.
Yeah.
And I used to get terrible toe cramps
Yeah.
as a swimmer. And I would see like my other teammates would
Yeah.
as well. And like now I want to go back and be like,
Yeah.
yeah, you need to,
you needed them.
to be hydrated. You need to be taking
swim
water
meets-
breaks. And
One of the swim meets I had like a pack. I used Tailwind Nutrition, and I had a pack of that, and the kids were just coming up, and I was just scooping it into like, who wants it? Let's get some electrolyte, because it was so
Yeah.
hot and that everyone was sweaty, and they don't realize like they're sweating while they're swimming. It just
Yep.
doesn't look the same as
yeah, because you're in the water, you're not noticing it. I
Yeah.
actually just spoke with some of the high school teams at Cesar Rodney High School about nutrition and hydration, and I had noticed watching the men's soccer team play that some of the boys were dropping and having to get taken out of the game in the last 10 to 15 minutes because of muscle
scary.
cramps.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that's 100% avoidable.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's your hydrating strategy and your electrolyte
Yeah.
balance. And so let's talk about the difference between water versus electrolytes versus sports drinks.
like Gatorades and Powerades and things. Yeah.
So water, H2O, like we know we need
it
that.
all day long.
That's why I say I'm a big fan of start your day with 8 to 12 ounces of water before you have your coffee. Like before you have your
Yeah.
meal, drink 8 to 12 ounces of water
Yeah.
to start that rehydration process. I'm a big fan of using the electrolytes for general health, wellness,
Yeah.
energy levels, focus, cognition, and rehydration after a sweat session, a game,
Yeah.
whatever it might be. Gatorades, Propels, Prime, Body Armor, those are more performance drinks.
'Cause they
That's
have
what
the
I
sugar
tell, because
added
they
to
have
them.
all that sugar, and they have actually much lower sodium levels than like your LMNT, your liquid IV, your instant hydration, your Tailwind,
Right.
or even just if you're making your own coconut water with sea salt and lemon juice, your own homemade electrolyte, because the electrolytes, you're going to be looking at your sodium, your potassium, your magnesium.
Yeah.
So I always tell my clients that are intentionally exercising and athletes, water to start your day and throughout your day. Sports drink, if you are going to be performing on the field, like, you know, your average soccer match is 80 minutes.
Right. That's
to
why I
40
usually say
minute.
anything over an hour of
Yeah.
intense working out or moving your body.
Yeah. For our athletes,
some sort of sports
student
drink.
athletes that are playing, like parents, you want them to be alternating sips between like their sports drink and water
Yeah.
to give their body the glucose access to the fuel so they can maintain their performance level throughout an entire hour or 80-minute regulation.
Using those carbohydrates
match
in
or
your
game.
favor.
Yeah. Because the carbs are there for the performance aspect. And then afterwards, that's when we're bringing in those electrolyte drinks to begin the rehydration repair process, RRP, as I like to call it. I made that up. That's not a technical term. Rehydration repair process, where you need to get sodium back into your cells and around your cells so that your body can be hydrated. 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 That means that you are like your hydration status is balanced and optimal and ideal. So that, in a nutshell, is the difference between water, electrolytes, and then sports drinks, and how to use them most appropriately.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that, the sports drink thing, like you don't need to have them every day.
No, sports drinks really are going to just be for like
performance.
Performance, or if you're working out longer than an hour.
Yeah. But electrolytes you can have every day.
Every day.
You don't need to have it in every drink.
No,
but you do need to have one.
That's a great point. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So I have people who are like, oh, I just hate the taste of water, so I just put these electrolytes in every day. You can't overdo it. You don't want to have
absolutely.
it. Sometimes you need just plain water. You don't need to have the electrolytes in every single one of your drinks every single day.
1 pack per day is ideal for active populations or during warmer seasons, like during the summer, especially if you have a high sweat rate, which I do. So I'm active population, and I'm what we call a big sweater. I have a high sweat rate. That is a genetic component to that. So for me, daily electrolytes in the summer is like non-negotiable, but just 1 pack.
Yeah.
Like one, what size is this Yeti?
I think it's a
32 ounce? 32 ounce? Yeah. So I just do 1 pack, 32 ounce Yeti with ice and water and the whatever one I usually like, instant hydration or LMNT. And I'll have that. And then I switch back to water.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's important. So we'll do, I keep a pitcher in our fridge of lemon water. And then sometimes I'll just add a little sea salt to that. But then I also do my Tailwind, and it works great. So
yeah, keeps you hydrated and keeps you.
Yeah.
You think about it like oil in a car that like lubricates everything and keeps everything running well. That is what the electrolytes are doing essentially. And fluid intake is keeping everything lubricated and running well the way that it should.
I think people would notice a big difference in their not only performance, but that nagging little headache you get at 3:00, or even
the nagging little slump that you're
your
just
sugar cravings. This
I need more caffeine. It's like, no, actually, maybe you need to snack and some electrolytes, some
water.
fluids.
Yeah,
absolutely. I will say for women in the luteal phase of our cycles, actually, so electrolyte balance and regulation is slightly impaired with the fluctuating estrogen and progesterone levels after the second half of our cycle. So after ovulation and you start moving towards that luteal phase, and especially the late luteal into menstrual, a daily electrolyte drink first thing in the morning is really, really helpful for bloating and headaches and fatigue and all of those PMS symptoms.
Yeah.
And mood, like stabilizing your mood. So I definitely, I'm, like I said, I'm a once a day electrolyte drinker, but like my daughter, for sure, when she is in that phase, I'm like electrolytes every day.
Yeah.
It is kind of a non-negotiable first thing, and it will really help you during that phase of your cycle, whether you're on hormonal contraceptives or not. So that's a tip for our listeners that are menstruating, is to take advantage of electrolytes at that time, even if you're like, okay, I don't really exercise a whole lot, or I don't have a high sweat rate.
It's still replacing those minerals.
Will help you with PMS symptoms during that time. So I think that's important. If your kids, so like my son does not like electrolyte drinks. He doesn't like the salt taste or whatever. So I do a lot of milk for him. Milk is a really nutrient dense food. If you do not have digestive upset or anything with it, he tolerates it really, really well. We do milk from grass-fed cows, and milk is a great rehydration drink that also gives you protein and carbs. So it's a really good post-training electrolyte drink.
Yeah, that's why I see all those athletes drinking chocolate milk after their workouts.
Yeah, chocolate milk.
Bodybuilders, chocolate milk after the workout, right?
And that's a good one to help replace fluids as well as the protein and carbs to help muscle support and repair as well. So, yeah, I would say hierarchy of like how to hydrate. Water first thing and throughout the day. Electrolytes
daily at least once.
Yeah, especially if you are solid with your exercising regularly and you are getting sweaty, or it's during the hotter months of the year.
Yeah.
And then your performance drinks are going to be to help you if you're doing like a 90-minute challenge workout or some endurance feat, or your kid is an athlete that's playing in an 80-minute game.
Yeah.
where they're going to be sweating a lot and running around. And then electrolytes after that.
Yeah.
And then water throughout the day.
Yeah, always water throughout the day. And
throughout the day.
coffee does not count as one of your water intakes.
It does not.
There is water in coffee.
There is fluid.
That is true.
For sure. But we're not going to start our day with that.
I'm interested to see how many people who will follow this and who start drinking water before they drink their coffee. I'm interested to see how they feel, because I know for my husband, I started having him years ago drink the lemon water before his coffee, and his headaches have decreased, and the amount of coffee he consumes has also decreased.
Okay.
So I'm interested to see if you make that switch. Let us know.
Yeah. Hydrate with some water first, coffee second.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys, take care.
Thanks for spending your time with us. If you found this podcast helpful, we would love for you to share it with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe on your podcast platform. If you have nutrition or fitness questions you want answered on future episodes, we would love to hear from you. You can submit these questions to our email, thenutritionrevolutionpodcast@gmail.com, and follow us on Instagram @thenutritionrevolutionpodcast.